challenging T20 series coming up for India. West Indies versus India in T20s. Let's talk all about that series here at Timeout with SportsAdda.
वो क्या था
Challenging
अखिल?
series.
तीन छोड़नी बोला था ना मैंने. 3-0 was it?
Yes, absolutely. You were the Glenn McGrath.
I mean, out of 3 tries, I think I've got 1, so it's all right.
Complete washout for West Indies in the ODI format, Arun. Sad to see that there was no fight left in them at the end of the series. Also, I think the focus was clearly on the T20s, where they know that they can be a challenging team. They have a so many strong individual performers. Now, if they can gel together as a team, then they'll be a good bet against India.
That's always the challenge, though, Akhil, isn't it? I mean, even before the World Cup last year, we mentioned that the West Indies were one of the favorites going into the tournament, but they just fell apart. And if they haven't rectified the problems that they came across in that World Cup, if it's going to be, I play for myself, he plays for himself, it's going to be the same story all over again. But you're right, West Indies, that squad. If you look at the West Indies squad, it's got so many match winners, Akhil. It's got so many match winners. We'll talk about them in detail, but they're going to be a more competitive series, hopefully.
Okay, fantastic. You said about match winners. We've been also having a lot of winners here at Timeout with SportsAdda, Arun. We've been having contests where we are allowing people who listen in to us participate and win some prizes. We are again having a big prize today. People who tune in and participate in today's contest stand to win a smartphone again. And it's a simple question about India versus West Indies in T20s. So here's the question. Like always, please provide a hint. Don't give the answer. And the simple question is: there are a couple of Indian batters who've scored T20 hundreds against West Indies. Men's, I would add that. So a couple of batters have scored. So we want to know the names of those Indian batters who've scored T20 hundreds against West Indies. Simple enough question, and like always, just go on to our YouTube channel, like the channel, like this video, and just give in your answers in the comment section. And smartphone for the winners, Arun. Any hints?
Okay, two players have got hundreds, Akhil, for India against West Indies. One of those is in this team, one of those is not in the squad.
All right, Arun, as usual, is very generous with his hints. So big contest here, and hopefully another big contest on the field also, Arun. Like you were saying, if you can have a look at the West Indies squad, there are so many individual names that we've seen having such glamorous performances across leagues, right, Arun? Not just they don't just play the Indian T20 league; they are everywhere. Big Bash, they go to Bangladesh, they go to the T10 leagues. So you've seen performances. You've covered some of the leagues also in your work schedule. So anyone specific that you're looking at here?
Before I talk about anyone specific in this squad, Akhil, I'll tell you the names missing, right?
Yeah.
Some players who were sold in the Indian T20 league auction. I'll go with Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, Sharfane Rutherford, Evan Lewis, Dwayne Bravo, Alzari Joseph, Obed McCoy. Now, if you add these if you put these 7 into any West Indies lineup, and then include the likes of Pollard, Powell, Nicholas Puran, Jason Holder, what a formidable side that could have been.
Even somebody like a Hetmeyer who misses out here because of fitness issues. But
Correct.
Even he's gone for such a hefty price. So you're right. It's a brilliant team of individuals. Like I said, I think the big challenge for Phil Simmons is to get some kind of bonding going. Like we could see the bonding that they had when they won that T20 title in 2016. There was just sheer joy of playing cricket. Everybody was celebrating each other's success. The women cricketers were there, if you remember. They had also just won a title. So it was just pure magic watching West Indies win that title. I'm hoping to see they start attacking from ball one and challenge India also. India have their own set of issues, Arun. T20 has been a format we've not been able to crack.
Before we get to India, just one quick, flashback, Akhil. I watched West Indies win that T20I series against, was it England? Was it, who was it? It was England, wasn't it?
Yeah, England
I
just now
mean,
they won.
just the raw emotion, coming out of the crowd, coming out of the players, felt good to watch. Really felt good to watch. Hopefully that they carry that emotion, that passion into this T20I series. You mentioned they were flat in the one dayers. Hopefully they carry that passion into this T20I series, and they'll be more competitive. There are problems though with the West Indies. Just one thing I'll identify, Akhil.
Yeah.
Who's going to get runs at the top? I mean, the middle order is going to be extremely formidable. If I can just read out names of a possible middle order: Robin Powell, Kyron Pollard, Fabian Allen, Jason Holder, Odin Smith. So this could be 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or whatever, right?
Pooran,
But look
Nicholas
at the
Pooran.
top. Look at that exactly. Look at the top four, Akhil. There's Brandon King, hopefully. There's Shea Hope, Nicholas Puran, the name you mentioned, who can destroy attacks. And then there's Roston Chase potentially there. I mean, it could be a toss up between Roston Chase and Bravo, but Darren Bravo. But I'm going Roston Chase because he did well in the CPL, gives you an off spinning option as well. So the top four, except for Puran, the question mark, but that middle order can destroy attacks. Akhil. If they get going, watch out for ball sailing into the stands.
I don't know if they are going to have crowds at the Eden Garden, but this could have been a real spectacle. We know how big cricket is in in Kolkata, and West Indies coming to play T20s there. They could have sold the stadium out twice or thrice in normal situation if they wanted to. So that's a electric atmosphere. But like you said, West Indies have issues. So do India. Arun, T20 should be a format that India should be dominating. As cricket fans, that's what I'm expecting with the kind of riches that the team has, the financial infrastructure that the team has, the magnitude of the T20 league that they participate in domestic. So just the amount of matches that they play. But again, individually, if you look at this team, they've all, I think, how many of them will be a 10 crores and plus in the Indian T20 league? We don't have a calculation of that, but it's going to be interesting to see how Rahul Dravid now shapes this team, Arun. I mean, we've had the top three of the Indian batting order always looking after the entire team with the scores. I think for the last 6-7 years now, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli have taken over the mantle of running the scoring pattern. But now I think it's important that somebody else like a Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, they start taking more of the load, and hopefully they also get to bat a lot more, Arun.
Exactly, Akhil. If you look at that squad, we've seen it once, but just read the names out, Akhil. Some potential starting 11, I'll say: Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Venkatesh Iyer or a Deepak Hooda, Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, Yuzvendra Chahal, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Kuldeep Yadav or a Ravi Bishnoi. So this is my potential 11. Okay. Now, how many of these? If you mention most of these names, I'd say if you mention 8 of these names, you'll get a reaction of wow. 8 out of 11, Akhil. That's the kind of impact players India has got. Yet, it's that coming together of a team, like you mentioned, Akhil. We've not come together as a team, and that reflects in our inability to win the big titles. The ICC T20 World Cup, or dominate the world stage. Now, India have had problems. We've missed players. We don't know what our combination is. It starts from there. And that problem will continue through the series as well. Now, KL Rahul's been ruled out because of an injury. Now, it comes back to who opens for India. Now, KL Rahul's, I think, India's top-ranked batsman. So, who opens for India? And this has got to be a call, keeping the future in mind, the World Cup in mind. World Cup's not too far away. Right? Does Virat Kohli stay at the top? Do India open with Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma? In my books, no. I see you nod this way, so in your books, no as well, right? Yes, I think Ishan Kishan needs to be given the spot at the top of the order. So I'd go Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan now because KL Rahul is not available. Virat at 3, and then you take it from there. Rishabh Pant at 4 or Shreyas at 4, and you just go on from there.
What I'd also like to see is Virat and Rohit going for it, actually, Arun. Like the last T20, I think that Rohit Sharma has played was the T20 World Cup. After that, he missed a lot of cricket because of injury. But the way
Injury.
that he
Yeah.
was going after the bowling attack is what I want to see him in the T20 format now,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
clearly while without Bumrah, the T20 attack looks dicey. So it's going to be on the batters to try and win a lot of games, and it has to come at the top. So in the, I mean, how Rohit now has to, I don't think he will wants to do the anchor role. I think he should just go and enjoy himself and let the fans also have fun.
T20 is all about entertainment. I mean, there's strategy and all of that involved for players, but for fans, for people like me and you watching, for people who are watching, sitting in the stands or on the television, we want entertainment, wholesome entertainment, and I think you're right. Uh, you, Again, we've just got to crack the code, Akhil. India's got to crack the T20I code. I think it's no
Yeah.
longer about consolidation. There's no time for it. It's 120 balls. I'm not saying play like England play like West Indies play. Don't be reckless, but
Yeah.
but try and be aggressive.
Especially without somebody down the order like a Dhoni or a Hardik, or even somebody like a really special talent like a Yuvraj Singh, who can get you those consistent sixes in the later order. We are really missing that right now, because Rishabh still, he's not at his best in T20 internationals so far. So we don't want to push too much pressure on him also. So especially when we are lacking that, I think the top order will need to go a lot more harder.
I think like I mentioned, Akhil. Just read the names again: Rohit, Virat, Ishan Kishan, Shreyas or Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, and the Venkatesh Iyer. Now, don't tell me these batsmen cannot be aggressive. It's a question of them just letting themselves loose, saying this is the way we're going to approach T20 cricket. No question of playing safe for the first 10 balls. Ball
Yeah,
one in the spot, out of the park. That's the approach we want. I mean, you will lose games. I agree.
absolutely.
If they take this approach and if they lose games, there will be criticism from some quarters,
Yeah,
and we could be some of those who will criticize. But we want the Indian team to play that brand of cricket.
true.
Establish a brand of cricket.
True, good point there. We mean sometimes even fans like us will get angry and say, why are you playing that short? But I think that's the belief that now the team will need to crack for the next 10 games that we'll have probably before the T20 World Cup comes, where this group will be able to play together. So in those 10 games now they have to figure out the combination and decide what is the best combination.
For once, Akhil, India have got riches in the bowling department. We've not often mentioned this in the past. But look at the names we've got for selection, Akhil. Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, Yuzvendra Chahal, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Kuldeep Yadav who is coming back. These are my potential starters. And then you've got Harshal Patel, Avesh Khan. I've left out Mohammad Siraj and I'm thinking, how do I get Siraj into the 11? Right? So, and then we've not spoken about Bumrah is not there, Washington Sundar is not there, Jadeja is not there, Akshar Patel is not there. I mean, I can just keep going, but embarrassment of riches in the bowling not happened too often, and I'm laughing. I'm so happy about this.
Going to be a good contest though, to see somebody like a Chahal tossing up the ball and the West Indies batters going after him. So that's going to be a good contest to watch. All right, so interesting series. Like I mentioned, Arun, I wanted to just again remind people who listen in, saying that we have a contest going here. It's a simple question that I've asked about India versus West Indies in T20 crickets. We want to know who are the two batters that have scored hundreds versus the West Indies in T20 cricket.
For
Indian male
India,
batters.
Indian batters, Indian male batters. Yes.
So that's our simple contest questions. Like always, please go onto our YouTube channel, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and put in your answers in the comment section. If you win, then you have a chance to win a smartphone. So we've given away some interesting prizes in the past. So this is a continuation of that series. All right, Arun. Before we head
Two
out,
two
Teddy.
sets two sets of numbers, Akhil. Two sets of numbers quickly.
Okay.
If India win this series 3-0, and I'm not saying they will, but if India win the series 3-0, we top the T20I rankings, the ICC T20I rankings. And India have not lost the last five. India have won the last five bilateral series at home. So looking forward to an extension of that. I'm saying India win. I'm not giving you a margin.
Like I said, I love West Indies cricket, Arun. I want to watch them do well. I know it might sound wrong that I want it to be a competitive series, but I want West Indies to really challenge India, and like this has to be a core landmark series, where we play one of the strongest world teams in World T20, West Indies. So I want this series to become really special, so that West Indies cricket can continue to tour India and we can have this entertaining series going on. So my I'm looking at a 1-1 going into the third game, and then whoever bats second has a great advantage.
I'm
So
with you.
that's
I'm with you.
all right. We'll be back here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Lots and lots of interesting cricket coming up. We are still breathing down after the auction and the kind of money that was spent, the decisions that were taken. So we've had a interesting debate about that. We'll be back. Lots of cricket to talk about. Thank you so much.